My name is Ashley Noble, and this is my client presentation final for Synthesis 4670. So for this class, I chose Haskin Self-Storage. Haskin Self-Storage is a small business in Haskins, Ohio. It started in 2002 by Jeff and Marilyn Noble. What Haskin Self-Storage is it's an on-site and off-site storage. So what they do is they provide storage and storage units, containers, and along with outdoor storage. So their containers can be taken out to different locations and be placed there for people to use. And the containers are really cool because they also have offices that people can use. Say if you're in construction, they typically use it for that as well. So the main visual communication problem with Haskin Self-Storage was they have a great business and the revenue is really good, but their branding and marketing materials are very outdated and also non-existent. Their logo basically was just a font put onto a poster and kind of left it at that. They didn't have any stationery set such as like a letterhead or an envelope. No branding whatsoever. They had no business cards, and the company look just wasn't eye-catching and it didn't seem very special. So what my goals and objectives were for this assignment was to basically completely rebrand the company, recreate their logo, give them some special look that people could say, oh wow, yeah, I know Haskin Self-Storage. This is, like they remember their logo and their look. So I wanted to create a stationery set that included a business card, a letterhead, and an envelope. Those are very useful and extremely important in businesses because when you have customers, you're always sending out invoices or you're sending them letters and notifications saying that their payments are due for a business like this. And when they didn't have any of that, it was really hard to send a professional looking statement out to a customer. The other thing I wanted to do was create a clean and eye-catching brochure that contained information images about the business. It's really important to have stuff like this because if you're talking to a customer and they want more information, you need to give them something that is clean and straight to the point and not too overwhelming with information, but it contains information about the company because, a client's always going to have questions like, oh, how much does this cost? Or what sizes do you have? And the main goal in doing all of this is to help increase revenue even more than what they already are doing. So the solution and process for this was to rebrand the entire business for a more updated look, make the logo unique, professional, more modern, and clean looking, incorporate the logo into a stationery set, including a letterhead, an envelope, and a business card, and to also create a brochure that contains information on the business that can be used to give customers or send out in mail. All of this stuff is extremely important, especially in professional business, because if you don't have this stuff, people are going to think that you're not really prepared, and it's going to be really hard for them to trust you and your business. I mean, they're putting all of their stuff into a container or a storage unit, trusting that they can leave it there safely locked up and it not get broken into or messed with by you, the owner. So it's really important just to have everything together and really be on top of things and professional and organized. So the results of the solution are the logo, the letterhead, business card, and brochure, and envelope. Right here is the logo that I came up with for Haskin Self-Storage. It's very clean and straight to the point. It has their name and it also represents a storage unit that's like kind of their layout. I really liked it because it wasn't cheesy like most storage unit logos were, and it was just really clean and modern looking. Here is the business cards that I created. So the front of the business card has the logo incorporated onto it, and then the back of it has Jeff's name, and the other one has Marilyn's name. And then underneath it says his title. It just has his basic information. It's phone number, email, and address. We didn't want to put the website on there just yet because although they do have a website, it's not extremely professional and up to date. So that's definitely going to be a work in progress that I'm going to take on down the road, which is pretty cool. This is the envelope. It's pretty simple. I didn't want to put too much onto it because I know that postal services have a lot of restrictions. And from a rebranding project I've done before in school, it was really hard for me to get super creative with it because some places wouldn't take it, and it was just really frustrating. So I wanted to keep this really simple. I put the logo in the top left corner, and then I added the address at the bottom. This is an example of a letterhead that we would be using. Again, I wanted to keep it very simple and clean and stick to the colors that I used for the actual company. I have the logo at the top left, and then next to it I have the address, their email address, and a phone number. So it leaves a lot of space to address anyone that the letter is going to and give the information that they want to give. Here's an example of the brochure. Unfortunately, it is pretty blank. We don't have that much content and images right now, but it's definitely a work in progress. It's something that they're going to print just to have. There might be a few tweaks before we do the final printing. We were kind of behind on that because once we sat down, we realized, oh wow, we really need a lot more content than what we thought we had. So that's definitely going to change, but the layout and the colors are going to be pretty much the same. So it's very clean and more modern looking, which is nice, and that was basically the whole idea of the rebranding for Haskin Self-Storage. I learned a lot of lessons with this project. I definitely learned that if you're going to be doing freelance and you have a full-time job and you're just way too busy, it's really hard to take on a bigger project because it was really hard for me to get extremely creative with this project because I was so busy with my internship right now that it was hard for me to sit down really late at night when I got back from work and our events that we had in the evening and really focus on trying to be creative. Definitely give yourself enough time when you're creating your timeline to give to the client because meeting deadlines are extremely important, and if you don't make those deadlines, it just makes you look like a bad designer. Another thing I learned was always stay in touch with your client. It's really important to make sure that you're going down the right path that they're looking for and that you're keeping up to date with everything that you're doing. If you design something that they don't like because you aren't keeping in touch and showing them your progress, it's basically just a waste of both of your time, and they're going to lose interest and they could go to somebody else. Another thing I learned was from the very beginning, definitely sit down with your clients and make sure you know exactly what they're looking for and to produce the work that they want. You can't just go, oh yeah, I'll do this for you, and basically whip something up and hope they like it. Luckily with this project, my clients don't really have much creativity, so they kind of just let me take it my way, and they definitely wanted to keep the green color, so it was just more of choosing like a different shade of what they wanted. It was hard to get them to pick colors, but eventually we figured it out, and they wanted to stick to the one color of just the green and then using white as well. Another thing I learned was definitely stick to the client proposal. It really helped me stay on track, and it also made me keep in touch with my clients so that I could say, look, like this is what we're doing when, and so they always knew what I was doing. But the timeline was definitely the best thing that helped me because I realized, okay, this is what I need to do when, so I could really try to balance having a really busy internship schedule and then also having work to do for Haskin Self-Storage. The best thing that really helped me, I learned, was making to-do lists and checking them off. I'm a very visual person, so knowing that I have stuff to do is one thing, but when I can see it on paper and be able to check it off once I complete it was really helpful for me, and it allowed me to meet all of my deadlines, which was really nice.